Okay, we're here with Ariel Rodriguez, who's running for Miami-Dade County District Court Judge, Group 34. Did I get it right?
Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge.
Circuit Court Judge. Almost. So Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge, Group 34. And he's also a resident here of Miami Springs. How long have you been a resident here in Springs?
I've been a resident since 2002.
Since 2002?
When we first bought our house here.
Excellent. And so as we want to kind of let the Miami Springs community get to know the candidates, especially those who are running for local items like the District 4, District 6 with Miami-Dade County Commission. And in your case, you're a local, and we wanted to kind of let the community get to know a little bit more about you. So if you could share a little bit about your background growing up here in South Florida.
Okay, well, thank you. Just to give a little bit more background about the judicial races, there's 7 judicial races in Miami-Dade County. I'm one of 4 for Miami-Dade Circuit Court, and there's 3 contested races in County Court. To be clear, it's county-wide. Anybody in the county can vote, whether it's Miami Springs, Medley, Virginia Gardens, anywhere. So a lot of people get confused as by district. Unlike District 6, this is a county-wide race that any voter can go for. So everyone will see on the ballot, regardless of the party affiliation. So, like I said, I'm born and raised in Hialeah. I literally grew across the canal off of Hialeah Drive. My parents still live there today, and I bought a house here in Miami Springs in 2002 when I got married with my wife, and I have 4 kids right now. And I went to St. John's Elementary. I graduated in 1986. I went to Pace High School, graduated in 1990. So I've been pretty much an East Hialeah kid all my life until I went to moved to Miami Springs. After Pace High School, I went to Cornell University undergraduate school. I studied labor relations and HR management. Okay. And after my undergraduate degree, I took a year off and went to Notre Dame Law School after that. And I graduated in 1998. And
you said Notre Dame Law School?
Notre Dame Law School, University of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, awesome.
So I went away for school for about 7-8 years. Was stuck north, in the cold weather and plenty of snow. And after my law school degree, I worked for a federal judge in Washington, D.C. area, in Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay.
And I worked with him for 2 years, serving as a law clerk, which means I'm his attorney, his in-house attorney. Where I'm the eyes and ears for him. I do all his research and help draft any opinions and do whatever else he needs me to help him manage his cases. I guess after 10 years almost of getting sick of the cold weather and snow and whatever, I decided to come back home. I mean, this is where I'm from. My family is still here, my roots, my culture. I can't see myself living anywhere else but Miami. And so when I came back, I met my wife through friends, blind date, and we hit it off. And before we got married, we bought a house in Miami Springs.
Okay.
That's where we've been since.
So you bought a house here in 2002?
2002,
okay.
Before the craziness of the housing market.
Yep.
I think I bought my house for like $240,000, which is unheard of.
Yeah, incredible.
And especially on the government salary right now, I mean, there's no way I can afford a house right now.
Yeah, it absolutely scares me, and my daughter's here off camera to my side, and it's like, how are our children going to be able to afford living here? But that's a topic for another.
I got 4 children. I expect my kids to be with me for a while.
How old are your kids?
So I have a 14, a 13, 11, and 9. My oldest is going to be a sophomore at Gables High, and my other kids go to Carver Middle and Sunset Elementary.
Okay.
So they're part of the IB Magnet program.
Yep.
So our first one got in, and they've been part of that system ever since.
Excellent.
As for my career, just to give a little background, like I said, I was a law clerk for a federal judge up in D.C. When I came back here to Miami, I worked for some very good law firms. One is called Genovese, Davila, and Batista, and the other one's Katz Barron. They're more like boutique commercial litigation firms. And that was my experience doing bankruptcy litigation and commercial litigation. And after doing that for about 6.5 years, an opportunity came about working with the Department of Justice, where I'm at right now, in 2006.
Wow.
And ever since, I've been working with the U.S. Trustee's Office. We're an agency of DOJ where we overlook all the bankruptcy cases.
Got it.
So anybody who files for bankruptcy, whether personal or business, we overlook the system, we litigate issues, we make sure the system is fair for everybody.
Excellent.
So that's what I've been doing since 2006. And about a year and a half ago, I decided, well actually, for 5 years ago, I tried to get appointed as a judge in the state of Florida. You can get appointed as a judge by the governor, or the other option, which I'm doing right now, is to seek to be elected. So after 5 years of trying with the governor, I decided, I just turned 50 a couple months ago, that it's worth a shot for me to do. I think it's something that it's a great opportunity for me. I'm at the right age. and I felt now was the time to do it, rather than wait until I'm 65 years old, become old and cranky,
Right.
or something like that.
So, and we talked a little bit about this before we went on camera, and I always struggle with the judges and how to pick the judges, and you should try to research from a friend or someone who knows some of the judges that are running. So, the judgeship that you're running for, explain to us what kind of cases go in front of this. So this is Miami-Dade County District Court Judge, Circuit Court. I'm sorry, Circuit Court. I'm getting that wrong. So Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge, Group 34. So what type of cases go in front of this judge?
So I'll try to explain it this way. For the trial court judges here in the county, there's two types of judges: county court and circuit court, which I'm running. For county court, we call it the People's Court because they do more of the smaller matters, landlord evictions, small claims court, traffic issues, misdemeanors. For circuit court, which I'm running, we deal with bigger cases. What I mean by bigger in amount, bigger in terms of seriousness. We deal with the felonies in criminal court, domestic violence issues. In civil court, they deal with any matters that's worth more than $50,000 or above. Circuit court also deals with divorces, which county court does not do.
Right.
We also deal with probate court when somebody dies or doesn't have a will.
Right.
You have to go through probate proceedings. And also we deal with the child dependency. So if a child gets picked up by DCF,
right,
or if there's some issue with a parent, the circuit court judges overlook that. So that's, I guess it's higher stakes, but county court is just as important as circuit court.
Right.
It's just that we deal with the bigger issues, and the circuit court's a lot broader.
Got
it. For example, if I get elected, if I'm fortunate to be elected, they could put me in any division. Usually for rookie judges, they'll likely put me in criminal or dependency court, like the DCF.
Got it.
But I could easily be in any division. They could put me in family court, probate. It just depends what's available.
Okay, so you get elected for this judgeship, and so you get into the circuit court group, but then someone there then assigns what type of cases. So in other words,
judge of the county, we have a chief judge.
Got it.
Judge Sadie.
Okay.
So she's in charge of administrating and overlooking all the judges.
Right.
To make sure they're doing their job. So if I get elected, she will see what's available for me.
Got it.
Because what happens is after every election cycle, the judges with seniority start moving around.
Okay.
So whatever's left over,
right,
they'll come to anybody else, like the rookies, and say, okay, here's what we got. What do you want?
Okay.
So it's really up to her at the end of the day, what division will be. But whatever division, I have to expect that. Whether it's criminal, civil, probate, I know that I got to come. I'm likely to come in a situation that's not going to be familiar to me, and that just means I got to work harder and prove to people that I can do this job.
So you get elected, and then you're in this role, and then you'll be assigned to the different types of cases. So in reality, the person who's running should be someone who can capable of handling both criminal as well as civil, whether it's a child custody case or a divorce or a significant civil case or criminal case, that the person who's running for that can handle it. Now, how long is a term, once you're elected, how long does your term last?
So judges have a 6-year term.
Okay.
So every 6 years, a judge is going to come up for election. What they do here in the county, they stagger it like the U.S. senators. So every 2 years, a third of the judges are up for re-election.
Got it.
So they don't want all the judges being elected at the same time.
Right.
That could cause chaos.
Right.
So I think we have about 140 judges right now. So a third of those were up this cycle, and some people decided to go against incumbents.
Okay.
So that's why there's 7 races on the ballot when everybody sees it. And look, like you said, to be a judge, I think the key is you got to have litigation experience. No judge is going to have experience in every field that's a circuit court.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of impossible in a way because there's so many divisions, so many cases. But I think you need to have the experience and the temperament and the character to be willing to do the job.
Got it.
I mean, that's to me, I believe, was the most important because my criminal background is a little bit limited versus other people, but my civil background is way better than other people. So it's really a mix of who's coming in and running for judge or applying to be a judge.
And then all right, so let's say you get elected, you're there for 6 years. Now, you said some people decided to run against incumbents. Is there a current incumbent in this particular role?
So I'm running in Group 34. the incumbent I'm running against is Mark Bloomstein. He ran
Okay.
about 5.5 years ago,
Okay.
and he's only served one term.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't go into details as to why I'm running against incumbent. There's certain things I can and cannot discuss.
Sure.
But I did my research,
Mhm.
and that's the person I chose. At the end of the day, we live in a democracy.
Right.
I mean, the seat doesn't belong to him; it belongs
Sure.
to everybody.
It's-
But I mean, you could talk to my supporters as to why I decided to pick him. But that's really irrelevant. I just have to worry about me and show people why I believe I could do the job.
Okay. And in terms of what do you think, and you're the expert here in terms of legal background, when you look at your career and your background from, I think, what areas did you learn the most of, or what areas did you feel the most pride? When you look back at your career and says, man, I'm really proud of what we accomplished here or during these cases. Tell us a little bit about kind of your background, what gives you the most pride, and where you feel you've learned the most about the judicial process.
I mean, look, like I said before, I think my best experience and really what motivated me to run is my clerkship with my judge. His name is Stephen S. Mitchell. He was a federal judge in Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay.
I was his clerk for 2 years. He's by far the best judge I've ever seen in my life. I've been doing this for 24 years, and he's been a man of faith, a man of empathy, a man of compassion, a man of intellect. I mean, to this day, I don't even know his party affiliation because it doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant.
Right.
Because he showed me what it took to be a successful judge, and he's been my mentor ever since. He's been my cheerleader, and I've always looked up to him. I mean, in my mind, if I could do 1% of what I observed and seeing him as a judge, I know I'm doing a great service in Miami-Dade County. To me, it's kind of like a legacy thing, succeeding him because I've always admired him, for doing that. And beyond that, to be a judge, I think there's really two characteristics. One is temperament. Judges, we always see it in the movies or in TV. You see a lot of cranky judges who get upset with people.
Right.
And that's not what we need. I mean, the courtroom is, we're serving the public. The courtroom I may serve one day, it's not my courtroom. Even though I'm going to wear the robe, I might have control over it. But at the end of the day, I'm serving the public, and I need to show people that I have the temperament and respect for people. So when somebody walks in the courtroom, I'm hearing them. I'm listening to them. And whatever decision I make, I hope they feel that it's fair.
Okay.
Because we need judges like that. Because a lot of times we have judges who just want to move cases or be dismissive. But at the end of the day, we're serving. I'm not there just to have a robe and feel, have everyone kiss the ring and be, Ariel doing such a great job. I mean, I'm there to provide a service like when I work with my judge. Because at the end of the day, judges have a great impact in our community. I mean, a lot of people don't realize judicial races are very important, like you said.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't know who to vote for. My parents will call me every 2 years to say, who should I vote for this cycle? So it's very important for us as a candidate to go out there and engage with people so people are comfortable with us and know who we are and what we're all about and what experiences we have. Because you can't vote for judges based on a sign or some little card you receive. I mean, I'm trying to get out there and market myself and try to meet as many people as possible to show why I believe I'm best suited for this job right now.
And we definitely appreciate you. We're honored to have you here and to be able to share your story with the audience because we struggle with this. And like I said, I struggle with it every election cycle. Where there are judges on there, there have been times where I've shown up to vote and I I'm good with all the issues, and on the judges I've either skipped it because I'm like I just didn't want to vote just because of some name, and I've done the sin of what name I like the best. I mean, that's not how you judge vote for people. You really.
I'll talk a couple things about that. I mean,
Yeah.
Like I said, one is education. How do you
Right.
educate yourself? I mean, obviously you can look at my website, you can talk to people about me, but the first people is any lawyer friends you have.
Right.
I mean, the lawyers are the ones who have come before us or know the other attorneys in town. I mean, they're the ones that really have the best opinion as to who's a good attorney and who's not fit for the job. And so I encourage people to go out there and talk to your attorney friends like you do,
Okay.
and talk to everybody you know, because I think that will give you the best advice. And secondly, try to meet with us, try to go to any events and see what we're all about, because having a personal contact really means a lot more than, like I said, just seeing me in a sign.
Sure.
One thing I do want to talk about, I guess I forgot to talk about, is look, to me this is a public service, like what I'm doing. I'm not doing this to make money. I mean, I have a great job, what I'm doing right now. I work for the federal government. I can easily retire if I wanted to. But to me, this has really been a calling in terms of what I want to do. And I see this as a part of my community service. I've been part of this community for 50 years. Like I said, I turned 50 a couple months ago. and I've been born and raised here. Some things I highlight about me: I've been a guardian ad litem, before I decided to run. Where when children gets picked up by DCF, I actually represent some children to be their voice in court. And another fun fact about me: I'm a football official. I do youth football, high school football, and college football. And to me, that's a community service where we're trying to get kids off the streets and give them a great time, so they could learn and grow in the game of football.
If I can follow up, we're talking about American football and not soccer.
I
American
say football because I know for Latin American countries, football could be something else, but American football.
Is that the flag pin? I mean, the football pin.
So I got a little pin here. So I did the chain crew for the national championship game against Alabama.
Oh wow!
So I was actually on the field. I didn't get paid for it, but we were on the field right next to the coaches, and they gave us a little pin, a T-shirt, and a hat.
Oh, excellent!
I mean, the experience itself was great.
And are you doing like Optimus League type football, or?
So for youth football, we cover Pop Warner, Miami Extreme. Those are local leagues for youth football in Miami-Dade County.
Right.
I do high school football in Dade County, so any school in Dade County we cover, and I do Division II football with the SIAC Conference. It's Historical Black Colleges Division II in the East Coast. I joined them last year.
Okay.
I've been doing college football for about 7 years. I'm taking a little time off from college football since the campaign has really sucked up a lot of my time.
Right.
But I'm still doing youth football and high school football because I love it.
Right.
It's part of my passion. It keeps me in shape. It keeps me young. To see the kids grow up and see how good they become when they move on to the next level. It's been a great experience.
I was going to say, you do look younger than 50, by the way. And a nice full head of hair. It's all nicely black.
My dad is bald, but I get it from my mom.
All right. Clearly, I got it from my dad.
Right.
As folks get to know you a little bit, if they want to learn more about you, where do they go to learn more about you?
So, other than seeing us at events, I do have a website, A. Rodriguez for Judge, either FOR or the number 4. My social media is also A. Rodriguez for Judge.
Okay.
So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and I also have a LinkedIn account. If you type in my name, Ariel Rodriguez. I'm the only Ariel Rodriguez in the Florida bar.
Okay.
So any licensed attorney that has my name, they're not an attorney because I'm the only one in the Florida bar that's Ariel Rodriguez. So you can look me up and get to know me. I've been part of Springs for a long time, so I think I know quite a bit of people in Miami Springs. And I encourage people just to ask around about me and all the candidates. It's not just about my race. Like I said, we have 6 other races that are just as important as my race. So it's important that we keep judges that deserve to be there and have the qualifications, because the last thing you want to have is go before a judge and have the worst experience of your life.
Right.
And that's what people don't need. One last thing I do want to talk about. I do have some community support outside of Springs. I have several endorsements I do want to talk about.
Sure.
I had endorsements from the Miami Herald this past couple days. I've been endorsed by the PBA and the FOP, which are 2 police unions
Excellent.
in the county. I've been endorsed by the South Florida Council of Firefighters, which are all the firefighter departments except for the city of Miami. And I've been supported by the Hispanic Police Officers Association, Puerto Rican Bar Association, and the Teamsters Union.
So that's a mouthful there, but that's a lot of backing.
It takes a lot of work
Yeah.
to get your name out there and to get trust from people, because at the end of the day, people have to trust me to do the job. And I've been trying to get my name out there and engage organizations so they have the faith in me that the day I hopefully get sworn in, I can do the job and be fair to everybody, not just for one sector.
Ariel, I'm really impressive to have those types of endorsements behind you. And I will say, locally, I know you mentioned St. Thomas, where you went to school.
St. John.
I say St. John. I say St. Thomas. St. John, where you went to school, and then you went to Notre Dame. But I know here you've also been involved with Blessed Trinity for a long time. I know you've been a parishioner there for a long time, and I've seen you there for a long time. So you're actively involved with our local church as well. So we appreciate that. I always like to kind of close out. Here, I know there's a number for people to vote for you.
So my number is 95.
Okay.
So for Miami Dolphins fans, that's the Tim Bowen number.
Okay.
Tim Bowens, and I think it's a good number. So, I know for some reason Latin American people like the number. Like my parents like to know what the number is.
Yeah.
For everyone else, they just want to know the
name. Yeah.
And the group number. But so my number is 95, and I think it varies from 90 to 100. I think the judicial races and everything after that, the county commissioners go up in the hundreds.
Okay.
So, but I encourage people to look at your sample ballot.
Yeah.
The absentee ballots just came out a couple of days ago. Early voting starts August 8th until the 21st, and election day is August 23rd. And at the end of the day, I just encourage everyone to be engaged, vote, because without you voting, you can't complain.
Yep.
You have to vote and exercise our constitutional right and get out there. I encourage everyone to be educated and vote at the end of the day and ask for everyone's support.
Well, Ariel, we definitely appreciate any final words that you'd like to share with the community in terms of, why should they come out and vote for you on August 23rd or early voting, because I think most of the voting happens before the actual election
Right,
day.
so I will say most of the voting happens in early voting.
Uh-huh.
So really August 8th to the 21st is a critical time.
Right.
I don't think Miami Springs has an early voting site. So there's 10 early voting sites in Miami-Dade County. So I encourage everyone to go to MiamiDade.gov, the elections department, to see what's your closest early voting. Or you could do absentee. I mean, a lot of people still do it.
Right.
Or they could wait until August 23rd, and I think we'll still have Springview as a polling site in the rec center.
The rec center is still a polling site. All the normal polling sites
Right.
open up, except usually the country club is only for local elections.
Right. I mean, there's been some changes because we've had change of districts
Yeah.
in this past year, but I think most of the polling sites are good. So look, I appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone's time. And look, I'm a Miami Springs resident. I'm not going anywhere. I can't afford to go anywhere. So I'll be here for a long time because this is where I belong, and my kids. It's been a great experience and a great upbringing for my kids. And I hope to be here for many, many years until I retire.
Well, Ariel, it's an honor to have you here and sharing your story with the Miami Springs community. And again, if you have more information, you can visit his website at
Rodriguez for Judicial.com.
Thank you very much, Ariel. We really appreciate it and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.